Good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing? Hopefully good. I'm doing pretty well. Looking forward to doing some more Voron building and some more threaded inserts. Video's out on that now, by the way, in case you have not seen it. That is a thing now. So, is there anything to recap from last time? Not particularly, but we do have to mention it is sponsored. This video would not have been possible without our sponsors, Filler Farm and Big Tree Tech, so a big thank you to them for supporting Vector 3D. You can find out more by just watching some more, or you can follow the links in the video description. So, carrying on today, we're going to be working on skirts first of all, and then, well, the assembly menu then says to go on and install the panels and enclosure, and then do the electronics. And I'm like, that makes no sense at all. Surely it's best to do the electronics, get everything sorted while you have the most amount of access, and then do the panels after. So I'm going to do it that way around because I think that makes the most sense. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not going to know that until after I've done it at least once. So I'm going to stick with doing skirts, then electronics. It's almost potentially better to do the electronics and then the skirts, to be honest. Just because you have better access to holding the actual frame to move everything around with the skirts not installed. I don't know. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. That sounded miserable, but I didn't mean to sound miserable. So, yes, skirts, I think, well, let's check the instructions because we've got, so it's kind of screen. We've got some threaded inserts to do. We've got these dreaded inserts to do on here. Don't know how that's going to work. Going to have to improvise those, I think. And then, yeah. So I think this is what we're going to do first. So we've got the old, well, not old. Where is it? Got this nice Big Tree Tech display. Obviously they're one of the sponsors. So we've got Big Tree Tech Mini 12864 version 1.0. So hopefully this will fit pretty good. Not going to need the wires at the moment, but also not going to need the box anymore, I don't think. And we're going to need some parts. Not those just yet. I did, by the way, reprint all those clips. So what we were talking about last time where my panels are slightly thicker, I've now printed a whole set of clips that are more suitable for like a 4mm panel with maybe 2 or 3 millimeters of foam. So hopefully those are going to be just what I need. Those are also not the parts I need yet. This is it to begin with. Yes. So I actually printed these parts myself. Hopefully they've come out okay. Hello Maker Viking and SBC 3D and everyone else. Hello, 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 hello. This is one of the things where I deviated actually from what it said to print. I don't really know why, but it said to print this big kind of brim thing that goes all the way around as a spacer. I just chose to print some very small, so there's the same spacers that I actually used on the extruder in the end. That's why I had them already printed. So I'm just wondering how this super confusing part is going to work because the threaded inserts are facing each other. So you can't do this because it's at a weird angle. So you might have to kind of do, I don't know, maybe take it off the rig, try and press it from an angle and take it out and do it sideways or something to get it the rest of the way. So that's going to be a bit of a bodge, I think, but hopefully we'll get there. In fact, it's probably a good place to start. Let's get this heated up. I feel like I really want some music today for some reason. So that's that, and that's that. Hopefully these spacers are going to do the job that I need them to do, and they're going to be not too difficult to fit, because I think that's going to fit on here, kind of there. I think I need to remove a bit of plastic here. Dimensions not quite matching up to what I need. It's a bit of a butcher, but it'll be on the inside, so I'm not going to see it at the end. Hopefully that now fitting in there. Yeah, so that'll position nice over the holes. Then we've got to stick those spacers on the top and somehow balance them in place while we get everything together. This is obviously why it wants that big spacer, isn't it? Because the front panel goes on and then the screws, rather than the screws and then the front panel. So you've got to put that on there. I suppose with some screws you can kind of wiggle them around. Hopefully, we'll see. Fingers crossed we'll be able to get them in there. You could use a hot end heater instead of soldering iron. I could, but the soldering iron comes out of this quite easily, so it's not going to be a problem. I'll just remove it. So let's do some straight runs just to get warmed up, as it were. Can we see that okay? Camera's not quite in the middle. Sometimes I feel like the camera zooms more than it does, or doesn't zoom as much as I think it does. One of those. I feel like sometimes it zooms a lot and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, obviously it's the same, but my perception of it changes weirdly. That's 2. Number 3. And the 4. That looks good. So for these ones, it's going to be a bit difficult, I think. It needs a 90-degree adapter. I mean, I think the design personally is not very good. But yeah, that's just gone in super squiff. What people keep telling me when I talk about my rig is that they use a generic piece of metal to make everything flush. So I'm going to use a ruler and so presumably you make it hot by sticking it on the soldering iron until it will move around, and then you just put it in flat with a screwdriver. With a screwdriver with a ruler. It's not really worked, but it's not very straight. I don't have a soldering iron stand, so I don't really want to take it out. Just hold it on here a little bit longer. Let's hold it up against it. There we go. So we can probably do the same with the other one. There we go. Not pretty, but they are in there. So we'll call that good enough. Are there more inserts we need to do? There are. I guess we'll get on and do all of those. We'll come back to the display in a minute. So all these skirt parts. Actually, no. Let's get this display done. And then we'll get on with that when we're ready. So what screws for this? Like 8mm again, M3 by 12. This was 12, wasn't it? So, oopsie daisy. Helps if you get it the right way up. So that drops in there, that's fine. Oh, shit. Gently does it. Let's do the two corners first, and hopefully those will go through. We'll do the other two. Let's get the should have just printed the proper adapter. That would have made this so much easier. It's not quite. Oh no, that is him. There we go, that looks pretty neat, very happy. And we've got that, the pressure's on there, jobs are good. That turned out, I think, a little bit easier than I was expecting, which is good. We can still get that in that gap. We can, just about. And M3x8s. Come on. No, I'm not sure that's found the thread. That has. Right, that's on one side. Presumably the fact that there's pivots is some sort of useful function. That looks okay. Right. Okay, now we're on to the skirt. So, I mean, does it say to mount it? It does. And 3x8. I think we're going to leave that for a minute. We'll mount it with the skirts in a bit. So let's get this soldering iron back up to temperature. It doesn't take too long. And then we can take a look at the inserts for these skirts. I think there's going to be quite a few. Don't know about that piece. Doesn't look like any on that one. That's the same as that, so presumably nothing. That looks like it does. Ah! I couldn't find these pieces when I was looking for them. I ended up printing these myself, but it looks like I do have them in the kit. So I'm going to have extras of those. That's not got any inserts. This one does, doesn't it? Yeah, already saw that. Okay. That's another one of those. That goes over there. I think these ones do too. Oops, so there's it. So, heatset inserts. Only got a small handful of these left now. Oh, what? I'm guessing that's an M5 screw hole, not a threaded insert hole. The insert hole must be this side. There we go. Do 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 do. There's that one, and another one the same. It looks like all of these. So we've done these ones here. We'll do the tape part in a second. That's mounting the fans. Yeah, it's 3 in each of these. Okay. I'm assuming I'm doing this on the right side. Yeah, it looks like it. Oops, daisy. Looking good. Any comments? I put the afterburner on my Ender 5, worked great for a while, started to print ABS and then gears started to grind up the filament. Ooh, yeah, that's tough. I'll get a mirror next week and rat rig in 2 months. Ooh, nice. Ow. That was the hot insert I just accidentally touched. And then on this side. One more. Was that 1, 2? Yep, I did get them all. Are your printed parts yourself? If not, I might need that link. Voron comes Tuesday. Are your printed parts yourself? Not totally sure what you mean. I bought my printed parts from Print It Forward. And then printed some additional parts myself. If you want to know all the parts that I bought, you can find a link in the description. It's a Google Sheet, and that has a full bill of materials and where I got everything. And of course there's sponsor links and stuff in the description as well, if you want to buy the bits that I got from those places. Right, I think these parts look, given the size of that hole, it looks also like it needs a thing. Can't actually find what these clips are for. Scrolling through the manual. Can't see a gosh darn thing. Huh. Weird. What the hell are these for then? Okay, well, we'll just ignore these pieces for now. Exhaust housing, okay. So let's turn off that. Turn off the old soldering iron. Not going to need that for a bit. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So, I guess let's do the fans with the tape. Bit of an odd thing to use tape, I guess, for fans, but maybe a noise advantage. 2, 3 fans I've got. Get the rest of these threaded inserts away before I lose them. Right, so that's about the width of the fan. It looks like from the picture that they want it just around nearest the corners. Hopefully these wires are going to be long enough from the fans. It looks like the fan wires are also at the top. Of course they're facing inwards. So we've got to find something to cut this with. So So that's those two. Get a couple on the other side. So how do they mount? So one thing like a this, and one fan like a this. And then one thing like a this. And that covers that. Okay, let's try squidging these together. I mean, there's probably not much to gain from sticking it to both sides, is there? I'm tempted to just stick it to this one, stick it to the bottom of this, and that's 3 points, and that would be plenty probably. Oh, what the hell, let's do what it says. How long is it going to take me to take all these little tape bits off the backing? Come on. One. Sticks so damn well, it's impossible to get the back off. Let's try a couple of tweezers. A couple of tweezers? A pair of tweezers. Maybe. Yep, that was a good plan. So, which direction were we going? That way there, that way here. And then the same on this. Ooh. That looks pretty neat. Yeah, this is the proper 3M tape. I actually already had it. I can't remember what else I used it for, but it's one of those tapes that's like, once it sticks, it never unsticks. So just make sure you're pointing it in the right direction when you stick things together. I mean, I can definitely believe that this is enough because it's not holding these pieces either side, it's only suspending its own weight, so the tape doesn't really have to do much. And the fact that there's a little bit of foam, I guess will help a little bit with the vibration between the fan and the frame. Maybe not that much, but hopefully a little bit. Right. So the same again, that's going there, that's going there, and that ends going there. Let's do these sides. Tweezers definitely worthwhile for doing this. Much easier to remove than just with your fingers. Doesn't seem to have stuck very well to that part of the frame for some reason. Okay, so blowing inwards. Nice. That's looking pretty good. Oh, by the way, don't forget to like the video if you like it. And we're going to do a quick sponsor segment. This live stream would not have been possible without our sponsors, Filofarm and Big Tree Tech. Filofarm are a 3D printing bed specialist based in Germany. Filoprint is their high-performance, durable print surface designed to grip parts tightly when hot, but release them when cold. Their switch system utilises a strong magnetic sticker and 0.6mm spring steel to allow for easy swapping of bed surfaces. The bed plates offered are made from cast aluminium plate and are extremely flat, helping you get the best adhesion across the whole first layer. All of this can be made to standard sizes or customised upon request. Keep on watching to find out more, or follow the links in the video description. The Big Tree Tech Octopus is a 32-bit control board with loads of connectivity options for performance 3D printers like the Voron 2.4 and Rework V-Core 3. It can connect up to 8 stepper drivers, 8 fans, 6 end stops, 5 thermistors, 4 heaters plus BL Touch, RGB LEDs, a TFT screen, USB-C and more. Pairing the Octopus with TMC 2209 stepper motor drivers allows for quiet operation using Stealth Chop, performance using Spread Cycle and Stool Guard for sensorless homing. Big Tree Tech also offer a mini 12864 display, which is ideal for the Voron 2.4 design. Check the links in the description to find out more. So I've just had a weird observation. There's obviously 2 fans in this assembly, which makes sense. Like, that's obviously now matching the size of the printer, hopefully-ish, probably. On this side. Yeah, that makes sense. So why is there only 1 more fan? I'm pretty sure the bill of materials said 3 fans. So I'm just going to check what my bill of materials that I used says, because that is super confusing. I did always think from the start, I mean, I think this third one is actually for the extractor. So what the hell? The others just holes? Do we not need it? Is it extra? Is it I'm so confused. Cables, bill plate. Oh, where is it? Frame, electronics. 60 by 60 by 20, 24 volt fan, 3. Yeah. So it's 2 for the side and 1 for the filter. And then what do we do for the gap in the other bits? Only one side needs the fans. There's a printed part that covers the side with no fans. Well, there doesn't seem to be for me. This is all the pieces I have now. That's for mounting some electronics on the thing, that's for the filter, that's for the filter, that's that, that's that, that's for that. That goes on there. Missing some of the pieces, so let's, do we want them in black or blue? Kind of in blue, actually. In which case, oh, the rat rig's pretty noisy, so I don't really know if I want it printing on a stream because you'll all be able to hear it rather well, I suspect. But we do need the parts, so let's turn it on and give it a whirl. Oh God, can you hear that fan? The bearing, I think, in the fan is at least mildly damaged, to say the least. It goes away after a bit. Okay. Ooh. All tied in knots. So we need to... Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff to do with the rat rig. It's just, obviously, while I'm working on the Voron, this is the space that I have to do things, so... Obviously, and I've spread apart all the parts along here to make the stream swift as possible. So I'll get doing the rat rig next. Not next as in a minute, like next as in after I've done the Voron. They are indeed, I mean, I don't know what stage they're at of releasing it. They're not really talking to me about it, so I don't know, but there's definitely they call it the Minion or something, I don't know. So we need to get a slicer and some files from the Voron. So we're going for STLs, Voron, skirts, 300. Fan blank insert ×2. That's what I'm looking for, isn't it? Yes. So there we go. Hopefully really easy print. I don't like how, I mean, what's going on there? This unnecessary chamfer. It's just going to make that first layer kind of, well, the first few layers a bit ugly, I think. But so out of ABS, I'm not sure it's going to make much difference having high infill. Let's slice it and see what it looks like, because they're pretty slim anyway. It's like one layer of infill. It's not going to make any difference. Everything else is basically solid. They look pretty neat. Okay. Let's export these. So next thing we need is a link to the vCore 3 Duet web control. Let's get everything heated up. Right. I think the rat rig one's going to be a fair bit more expensive, but I don't really know. I'm just kind of guessing, really. I've not seen pricing or anything, so who knows? Not me, that's for sure. Okay. What we can do though, I think, is finish these parts. So we've got some accent pieces we can stick on here. I think, I don't know why, but I think for some reason I worked it out, it's going to be similar price to the Mark III kit for a completed Minion. I think. I can't really remember. So don't quote me at all, because I actually have no more information than you do. But for some reason, that's what I'm thinking. Right, these have no locating pieces, but they just stick on there like that by the looks of it. Well, not stick. Let's make sure you can see what the hell's going on. I wish that top camera, I don't know if you notice it particularly watching, but I notice it a lot just on the monitor here, that the colour of the bottom left, the top down angle just looks really washed out. That's the one thing I want to change. That's why I wanted a different camera, if anyone saw me talking about that on Twitter. Here we go, M3x8. Shame I don't have black screws for this, but it is the way it is. Oh, forgot to set the vCore printing. If I don't press print, it ain't gonna do much. You'll hear how noisy it is probably. €500 for the full kit. Okay. Is that full kit? Or is that like incomplete full kit? Because I know for obviously the vCore 3, there were still other bits that you needed on top even after the mechanical kit. Wasn't there? Like the printed panels, enclosure panels mainly, really. The rest of it was there, wasn't it? I do kind of want one. My life is just going to be building printers. That's what my life has become. But that's not a bad thing. Fucking love building printers. Oh, these are 12mm screws. These are way... okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's the wrong size screw, but who really cares? Oh, some of them I did... oh, come on, Adam. Just concentrate. Let's get the right length screws. Can't be that hard. Yeah, they're going to be... it's going to be like the open source kind of thing, so I guess you can self-source a kit. When they provide a full kit, though, it kind of feels a bit pointless to self-source it, but, you know, do what you want. You do you and all that. Have I put these on the wrong side? I haven't. Would you look at that? Oh, there is one more, isn't it? That's 3. Let me know when you can hear the rat rig printing. Yeah, I think I'm guessing they probably won't supply the mains wiring and stuff, but that shouldn't be expensive. For some reason they have a really big aversion to providing anything to do with mains. I guess there's a really good reason, I just don't know what it is. Huh, what's going on there? It's like a really shiny part of the edge of the print, like when it was printed. There's like a different surface or something. Weird. Right, so these parts are going to be awaiting the print. How long was that saying it's going to be? 1 hour and 21 minutes. Oh, okay. We're going to have to move this out of the way now, I think. We need the space. There. And the station up over here too. If we can, let's bring the printer in over the side somewhere. This is where I want the old Lazy Susan, I think. Not used a Lazy Susan on the stream before. Don't know if the Voron's going to fit on it, but we'll find out. So I'm hoping I'll be able to stick it here and it will give me enough room to be able to rotate it and fit stuff. Look at that. So, can we... Oh my goodness, it fits like a glove. Literally perfect size. Okay. I guess it's not really perfect because I need access from the bottom rather than from the sides for this, don't I? Don't I? Probably. Let's put it on its back. That's going to look pretty sweet, isn't it? I like. So, how does it say to assemble the skirts? So M5 by 10 and then 2 M3 by 8s. So this is where we go back to having to jam in these annoying nuts with the Allen keys. So two M3s, one below and one above. Damn it. Okay, so now we just need to try and align it with said holes in here. Oh, that's annoying. That one would probably be better the other way around because of this. Hopefully it doesn't matter. So that there maybe. That there. And that down here. Hopefully this will work. Was it M5B10? 3mm Allen key for that. Fans going to face inwards, aren't they? So screwing from the back. Do 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 do. That doesn't feel like a long enough screw, to be honest, but there you go. How are we aligned for the top? Oh, absolutely perfect. Legendary. So that one a little bit loose, that one a little bit loose, middle one a little bit loose. Let's see if we can make it kind of central. Not easily. Nice. And that one there. Yeah, so grabbing the printer by that is just a bit wobbly, which is not ideal, but obviously the skirt is not really structural. It's literally just kind of, it's vanity and kind of holding the fans. I think it's mostly vanity. And I had my camera pointed in the wrong place. That's a really good point, actually. Now that I know that that fits on there, I might actually just take it straight off again, because I was thinking the same thing, and now that somebody else has said it, I think I'm going to do it. Getting the electronics in is definitely going to be easier when I don't have to lift it by that, because now that I've felt it, really, it just, I don't want to be lifting the printer around and moving it with those breaking parts. So I'm going to use the same one actually to make sure we get everything set up for the other side. So we can do the same thing now. This is the M3. There we go. Let's go check they fit. It's the wrong way, but symmetrical. I'm going to give the rat rig a quick look just to make sure it's behaving. This looks like I got these absolutely bang on first time. Let's give it a quick scoot to be a bit more central. Nice. Right, gonna have a quick look at the rat rig just to check that its first layers all worked. Looks a bit close and a bit over extruded, to be honest, but it's not going to come off, so for today that's going to be okay. Not sure why it looks weird, but there you go. As I said, that'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. So that's fan skirt. Happy with that. That fits nicely. We've got to find the front of the printer, so we've got to mount the screen up here somewhere. So that's two M3s up in here. No, don't want them facing each other, facing the same way. There we go. This is probably M3x8s as well. That's in, but we need the other skirt pieces either side to make sure it's in the right place. So I'm guessing that's these looking pieces. They're going to go over the motor area somehow. Doopy doopy doo. Let's move this one right out the way. Yeah, that's how that's going on, isn't it? Something like this. Where's the instructions for these? Nothing. Put those on there and it's done! Oh, for the love of God. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just make it up. I'm sure it's M3x8s or 12. Out of interest, is 12 too long? I suspect it is. Yes. Is it? Yes, 12 is too long. Don't think it's specified M3x10, did it, for this? We'll carry on with the M3x8, it's fine. It's more nuts, that's what it is. First print today. Yeah, no. We still got a few streams before first print. That's just missed that completely. This just doesn't fit. I think I've got a slightly different design. I think I might have one version of skirts and another version of the other bit, because that is never going to fit. Oh, poopy poos. Let me see if I can show you why. See if anyone else has come up against this. So, down here, you can see you've got this part which is for the motor mount, and that goes backwards for that bit you can see under there. And then this skirt is meant to mount kind of over this as a vanity cover. But if you see, when I hold that surface up against there, it hits. Because this comes too high up compared to that. So there's no way that that can't fit. So I'm guessing this was one of those changes. I mean, all the parts should be from the same version. They were all printed at the same time, as far as well, they're all delivered to me at the same time. So I assumed they should all be from the same version and work, but it certainly appears not. Oh, blue parts are not symmetrical. The blue parts are not symmetrical. Oh, god damn it. I see. Why are they like 99% symmetrical and then very, very slightly offset? That's superbly ridiculous. Thank you for letting me know, though. I'm glad we got that. Well, you got that sussed. Thank you very much, chat. Good to have you here. Yes, I'm glad we can all agree that the documentation for installation is absolutely fantastic. Well, that fits. There we go. Doesn't that look much better? Much better. Right. Much better. Okay, let's tilt her back and try again. So that's both in. Let's just slide it back and forward, make sure it's barely going to slide at all for some reason. Yeah, I think that's suitably positioned. To be honest, the top camera is probably a bit better for this, isn't it? Got this top corner now. So move the display all the way along where we can. So much fun with the documentation. We were going to actually remove the skirts now anyway, so that can come straight back off again. Because now we've got the nuts in position. That's good to go. So this is the wrong blue piece. So the reason I'm kind of annoyed with those blue parts is that whenever you have something that looks very symmetrical but isn't, the smart thing to do, or the kind thing to do to those assembling it, from the perspective of the designer, is to key it so you can't put it in the wrong way. So something either on here or in here that sticks up into it so you can't, or if you try to put it on backwards it like doesn't go flat or something, because there's like a little keyway that prevents you doing so. Oh shit. Just use the same screws here. So that's that skirt done. So how's this one go on? Oh, it's not that one then, is it? That's the same as that one. We need a symmetrically opposite one. No. Oh. Okay, so it's kind of done, but obviously that's just nut position, so that one's good now. Now I can flip it over, do to the side. Oh, actually, while we're here, get that back in there. Oh, rats. Let's put the screen in the right place. How's that look? Reasonable. Okay, let's take that off too. Just to keep everything as best condition as we can. We don't want to be snapping these skirts right at the last minute. That would be rather frustrating. What we're going to do now is, should we do it face down? We need that power panel, don't we? Let's try to give myself a bit of space. So we have a one of these. Don't need that stuff yet. And we've got some electrical bits to go in here. So we've got one of these and we've got a one of these. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that go in there and that'll go in there. Bit of a gap around. This says 4x3, number 4, 3/8 flat head self. Yeah, that's not on the bottom, is it? Let's make it up. We've got some self-tapping screws, don't we? I wonder if these probably too small. Oh, the heads are tiny. They're just going to go straight through there. Those definitely too small. We might be able to. I've got some M3 countersink screws. And I think I might be able to force those in, if nothing else. Or we drill it out a tiny bit to 2.9 mil and then we'll definitely be able to thread it in. Mine actually looks a little bit different to what they've got. My connector is really short and theirs is really long for some reason. Don't really know why. It is fused, so it should be fine. Is this going to work? Something tells me probably not. Oh no, I think we're in. Yes. No. Perfect. Well, maybe perfect, not quite the right word, but perfectly adequate is maybe more appropriate. A filtered mains input. I don't actually know what a filtered mains input is. Pretty sure I didn't see a filtered mains input on the bottom. Maybe I didn't see my own bomb clearly enough. Let's go and have another look. Electronics. Inlet power socket IEC 320 C14. If I Google that, it just comes up with something like this. It doesn't say filtered on there. Maybe I didn't get quite the whole thing. Type of electronics, that. What is the filtering doing? What is it filtering? A 26-week lead time. Not ideal. I should just carry on with the stream, shouldn't I? Somebody can explain what it's filtering. I guess noise, but doesn't the power supply kind of deal with that, maybe? I don't know. The power switch looks like it's just going to clip in. Question is, do we want it to there's probably a right and wrong way for which way this should be. But I don't know what that is. I'm going to do this way. That fits nice. I do like that. Good, 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 good. Probably the wrong switch as well, knowing me, but it doth fit. Out of interest, has anyone gone back to watch older streams that's here and found the chapters useful? I've put a bunch of chapters in on the older streams, even the one, actually the last one I did, actually basically watched it back immediately after streaming it. Put in all those links to hopefully make it easier for people to go back to, but I don't know, I guess the people watching are maybe not the same people that go back and watch it later, so maybe not so easy to get feedback on. I think I'm going to rotate this. I think it'll be easier to do when it's at least at the side. So two M3s for this. In fact, it's M3s for those, so we just need 6 M3s, isn't it? Oh, that's a load of rubbish. Can I get that one back out? Oh, bloody wasn't paying attention. I've put one in that doesn't have a ball in, I think. Oh, bugger. Don't think I'm going to be able to get it out. I feel like I should be able to. If they go in, they should come out, shouldn't they? For some reason they don't. Because I'm pushing on the frame, that's the problem. Oh, I think we're there. Yes! It had no balls. Now I know I can get them out. There's one that I tucked away accidentally. Here we go. There's one up here that I put in ages ago by accident when I was testing them. See if I can get this one out. No, this one's got the ball in, so it doesn't want to turn. Oh, yes! Oh my god! Not really, but you know, it's... I'm happy I've got it out. Let's stick it in here instead. I've really bent this Allen key. This is why you don't use nice Allen keys for doing stuff that they're not meant for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I feel at this rate we're barely going to even get to start the electronics. It's taking I'm surprised how long it's taking to do these blooming skirts. I thought this was going to be like a 10-minute job for some reason. I should have known better. Did that the wrong way up. I'll be using you and Neo when I get all the parts for my 2.4 in. So yes, keep the chapters. Yeah, absolutely will then. Good. I'm glad they're going to be useful. I feel like just having more and more camera angles would make things better. I kind of want to try a first-person view camera angle. I'm not sure how well it would work, if at all, but I feel like it'd be interesting to try at some point. Oh, I even aligned it and it's not really too low. Right, that's that. And then we've got this panel on here, and then we're sort of done for these, and we can do some electronics. What's the time? 1:30. Let's have a quick sponsor spot. Where is it?
This live stream would not have been possible without our sponsors, Filofarm and Big Tree Tech. Filofarm are a 3D printing bed specialist based in Germany. Filoprint is their high-performance, durable print surface designed to grip parts tightly when hot, but release them when cold. Their switch system utilises a strong magnetic sticker and 0.6mm spring steel to allow for easy swapping of bed surfaces. The bed plates offered are made from cast aluminium plate and are extremely flat, helping you get the best adhesion across the whole first layer. All of this can be made to standard sizes or customised upon request. Keep on watching to find out more, or follow the links in the video description. The Big Tree Tech Octopus is a 32-bit control board with loads of connectivity options for performance 3D printers like the Voron 2.4 and Rework V-Core 3. It can connect up to 8 stepper drivers, 8 fans, 6 end stops, 5 thermistors, 4 heaters plus BL Touch, RGB LEDs, a TFT screen, USB-C and more. Pairing the Octopus with TMC 2209 stepper motor drivers allows for quiet operation using Stealth Chop, performance using Spread Cycle and Stool Guard for sensorless homing. Big Tree Tech also offer a mini 12864 display, which is ideal for the Voron 2.4 design. Check the links in the description to find out more.
So I finished mounting the last one and starting to take them all off. So all those nuts are now in place. Hopefully I won't move them around during the rest of the electronics. Probably useful to have this one though, because it's got some of the electronics on it that I'm going to need to wire in at some point. Maybe we'll leave it off for now and won't be the last thing we do. Right. Go away, that stuff. And that stuff can go away as well. And that stuff. And that stuff. So. I think the first part of the wiring, so let's get this tilted up. It fitted better before. Is it not quite? It must be square, this frame. Strange. Oh, whatever, it's fine. The spinning printer. So, I'm using the harness, a linear wire harness. Wire harness. So, this process is going to be super easy, hopefully, maybe, possibly, potentially. So, this is obviously control board end, because there's loads of connectors all in one place. And then we got, presumably, yeah, A motor, B motor, some more drag chains, and then X, Y, end stop, so that goes to the PCB, and then the afterburner PCB, which goes in the back there. Now, how one really assembles this, I have no idea. I think the first thing to do is actually to get the drag chains on, because the drag chains need to be a good length. When we've got the drag chain at the right length, then we can put the wire harness into it and assemble it, hopefully all in one go. Drag chains. So, drag chains. So, unfortunately, mine are the closed type, which is going to be really, really sad when I can't get the harness through. So, I really hope I can, because if I can't, that's going to be a big, big pain. And I'm only just really starting to comprehend how big a pain that could be. Because this connector is 100% not getting through, which means I'm pushing it through back. I got these. Oh no. I don't know if this is even possible. But there's no way I'm going to get all those connectors through here and without damaging anything. Not a flipping chance, is there? I don't think this is possible. I mean, this I'm not sure is even going to fit. So that would all have to come out, and that's not going to be very easy. I think I need some better drag chains. Tape a piece of filament on the harness and I can't just pull it through. Look at the amount of connectors that I've got to go through Let me show you. The amount of connectors and the size of the harness. Like there's not a hope in hell. I'd have to totally remove all the connectors, of which some of them are crimped. The labelling, because it's all blue, it's going to be very difficult to get them all in the right place, and to pull them all through while they're all getting, it's just not going to happen. No, these drag chains are apparently cheap ones that don't open. Neither of them are. Oh shit. I thought this through. I was all planned and ready to go. You could set from the other end where the connectors are all staggered. New drag chains definitely seem like the best option. Not easy to pull through the other side. I can't pull the other side's just a single connector. But again, I mean it is mostly labelled. But I dread to put something back in the wrong place, and unpinning these connectors is not very easy either. And the problem is, because there's other connectors part way down. Oh, I'm in a weird angle. I'm not going to separate the harness. I'm going to get some new drag chains, I think. Oh, that's annoying, because I was going to... I thought I was going to be basically finished this weekend because I wanted to do this today and then another stream tomorrow, and we'd have been there. But now I need new drag chains. That's not going to happen. What a nightmare. Just as we were getting so close as well, and I was starting to actually plan things. I could mount the electronics, but there's not a lot I can really do with them. I mean, I suppose I can get started on it and it'll get me some positions and stuff. Oh, that's just incredibly frustrating though, really. Ah, yeah. Where's the, I'm going to need to find a decent place that I can get some drag chains to me quick. In fact, I don't think it's going to happen because I'm going to TCT this week, so there won't be a live stream. Well, there won't be a Voron live stream this week. I might try and live stream from TCT, but chances are that's probably not going to work out very well because internet connection is probably not going to be good. Oh dear, that was a disappointment, wasn't it? Let's have a look at the rest of the electronics then, I guess. See what other disasters we can find. I guess it's best to find them all now. Oh, there's another one of these. Whatever that is. Oops. Snap the cross members on the drag chains. I don't know, that feels just kind of wasteful. And I don't think anything's going to hold at all without it, so. We're just going to have to accept that I've ballsed it up, I think, unfortunately. It's not the end of the world. We can still do some other things for a bit. Just not going to work this weekend, sadly. So, what we got under here? Which way round are those rails? So, if we have a look on here... See, I feel a bit unprepared now because I hadn't particularly thought I was going to be doing this today. So, if we scroll down a bit more in the instructions, hopefully we'll find a little bit more on the electronics. Obviously, we're not going to do the enclosure yet. That's not worth doing. We could do these Z belt covers. Let's whack those in. Oof. How do we get these bad boys in? Not like that. Is it like that? That presumably. Yeah. Oh. I printed some of those. Where's my ones? Thought I printed some of those. Where are they? Remove, got some of the old white stuff on these, so oh, on the drag chain, I just seen that comment, cut the center of each one. Could do. I might have I mean, we've got maybe only 15 minutes left, so we've got enough to sort us for today, and I'll look into having a fix for tomorrow. As I say, I would rather get everything done if I can. I mean, it won't all be done. That's We're never going to first print tomorrow, I don't think. Unless I do like a stream all day. That could be a bit ambitious. Barely even need a screw for these, they fit so tightly. Oh, no, there's that. That kind of heat treatment thing does bend the parts a little bit, unfortunately. But that flipping thing that I took out, this nut that I took out earlier, was right here, and I could have just used it for this. Didn't even need to take it out. Never mind, no loss at least, really. Take this down here. Oh, not too far. Cut them close to the edge and leaving them up. Quite like that idea. Where are they? I've lost. Oh, they're on the floor. So obviously I don't need the whole length, so I can take a few off and have a little play, shall we? So bend rate is pretty tight. So if we cut this side, yeah, once they bend up, they're not going to go back. So you could maybe cut like every, I mean, it's making a mess of the links, just cutting them like this. Makes them all a bit bendy when you cut them all to pieces. Oh, did you? About leaving the nut in? Actually, I kind of remember you saying, actually. I just couldn't... I don't know. Couldn't stop myself thinking about it. Yeah, the chain becomes really bendy and like, I don't know, it's probably okay, isn't it, to be honest, but it's not really going to support the wire properly, so I don't really want to put it on stream as that's the solution, because I don't think it is really. So is it only IGUS chains that have the opening latch? You can get cheap chains that open, but IGUS ones are better and pretty cheap considering they can be shipped from inside the UK. Oh no, not too far. See if I can get some IGUS chains. I need to make a note because otherwise I'm going to be daft and forget. What episode are we on now? 7, isn't it? Have I got a pen? I mean, in this instance, unless I can find a reliable UK supplier that can get them into me in like a few days, I'll probably just go for the IGUS ones. Right, that's those. 1 hour 54. So obviously we've got these little things and presumably they latch over here. Oh, that's a bit wobbly, isn't it? Oh yes, I loosened them when I readjusted the bed. That's why they're... Ooh, I've just smashed that straight into the lens. Oops, sorry camera. That's why you put UV filters on the camera lens even when you don't need a UV filter. Because scratching a UV filter is much cheaper to replace than the lens. Is the rat rig done printing soon? It's at 85.5% out of 1 hour 21 minutes. So soonish. I might see if I can buy a filtered input as well. That filtered mains connector that's got that extra long body. So, this is all a bit complex as well because there seems to be differences on suggestions of how to use your various power supplies and Raspberry Pi and 5 volts and 24 volts malarkey. So I do have a 5 volt power supply. I'm kind of hoping I'll be able to power it directly from the Octopus. What I'm conscious of is the fact that the Raspberry Pi 4, which is what I'm going to use, does draw quite a bit of power, and I don't think the while the Octopus can take a fair bit of load on the 5-volt rail, I don't think it's quite enough to sustain the Pi 4. I also have not got the official SSR that was suggested. I've just got some generic thing. I think it'll be fine. It's appropriately rated, it's just probably not particularly high quality. Oh, that should just scroll down the instructions, that will give me some information, won't it? Spool holder we'll come back to, this we'll come back to. Here we go. I mean, that doesn't really tell you what orientation anything is compared to the fans and stuff, does it? I'm guessing the fans in this case are next to the SKR boards. I obviously want the fan next to the Octopus. How noisy is the rat rig? Can you hear it? Because it's quite noisy for me, but maybe it's the microphone might not be quite sensitive enough to pick it up from there. So it's these sides, it's fans. So you've got fans coming in either this way or this way. Probably you would do it this way. So maybe we'll put the Octopus this side. Drag chains here. So maybe Octopus down here to make sure we get close as possible. Although mains is going to be here. Just not easy, is it? I know what might be easier. Me standing up and using the top camera alone, and then I can I feel like that top camera is not going to really do justice to this because it's a bit close. Can we? So got Raspberry Pi. We have the beautiful Octopus board. I do have some mounts for. Oh, nearly fell over. Might tuck the chair in for a bit. So obviously the Octopus is technically a mod. As far as I'm aware anyway. And so I've got these user modified Octopus mounts, and that will go on there, that will go on there. So this will go along the rail. So maybe this way round. Maybe here. We've got SSR. It's difficult to decide, isn't it? I kind of want that maybe over there. I cannot get this to go where I want it to. My 2.4 pi is power from my octopus. For what it's worth, it's fine. There's a pi 4. Yeah, I mean, in theory it's fine. I just don't want those, like, one instance where it could overload it and then it becomes a problem. Because that would just be super annoying. Is this... That's not... I don't know what clips to use. I thought this clip would maybe rewrite for this, but that's not going to fit that, because this clip for some reason is different to all the others. Maybe this one? Ooh. That looks like a good fit, so maybe that clip's for the power supply. Probably... Oh, this is difficult, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff to go down here. A lot of stuff. Don't need the SKR mounts, that's for sure. Don't need those. Let's get those out of the way so I'm not thinking about those. That looks like the Pi mount, yep. The rails, the holes in the rails are the wrong size. They're like M4, which is why I've got M3 screws holding them in, because I don't have any M4s, and for some reason they're not M5. So that was a thing. What do we do with the Drunken Sailor? How do we mount the power supply? What do we do with that? Ah, is that what these are? Yes, that's what those are. But that's going to mount it long ways. Oh, okie dokie. So that changes things. That's got to go along a rail. How the... Okay. See, I'm worried that the harness, if this isn't next to this, then the harness is going to end up too short. I've heard reports that it is not very long. This is going to be difficult to wire. There's lots of little short bits. Oh, goodness me. Pavel, hello. It's good without the washers, it's alright. Yeah, it does have washers actually, I've got the M3s. Maybe we'll put the fans on that side then, and that can go... I mean, I guess that's the same as doing it this way and just putting the power supply next to it here. I can't remember which round that was, and then that's got there, and that's maybe that on here. on here and that over there. Doesn't seem unreasonable. Pi is really fussy about the voltage, and official Pi supplies a 5.1 volt. You can also adjust a separate supply to match, but Octopus is 5.0 and non-adjustable. This should have a trim on it. Yeah, it does have a trim. So, I mean, this sort of seems like a good layout, but now my USB connector is right down. USB-C connector for the Pi is all the way down here. Now the mains connector's in a weird place. So we've got mains coming in here. This as close to this as possible. Mains to here. Voltage out, back and around. This in itself is not an easy decision, is it? I mean, it might be easier if I already had the harness. This is the thing. If I had the harness coming through, I'd know where I could put this bloody Octopus board. Until I know where I can put that based on the harness, I don't want to start cutting all the other wires. You might be all right. I don't know how. So I've heard a couple of other people in other places say that the wiring on the harness was not very generous in terms of its length. So they were like, they basically said, "Oh, it's a problem," and the response was, like, make sure you haven't got too many extra chains in the drag chain, any extra links in the drag chain. Which tells me that there's literally not much room to spare. Just using an oven glove to cool down my prints. I get too impatient waiting for prints to cool down, so some nice heat-proof gloves make that problem go away. Well, I think I need to go back to the drawing board and do some more planning. I feel like we might not have a stream tomorrow after all, because I do really need these drag chains sorted before I can do anything else. I think, especially to do it justice, if you like. I mean, I could probably bodge it and cut it and hack at it until it looks like something, but I think it'll just be a mess if I do that, and I don't really want that to be my experience. Yeah, I do want it close to the fans, which is why I want it over the side. But then I also don't want mains wiring crossing everything. I want that to be as direct as possible. I feel like we've not really achieved anything today. The printer looks the same as it did when we started. So apologies for that. Oopsie daisy, didn't want that to do that. I think to say we've had a not particularly successful stream would be a mild understatement. But we've got some printed parts now for the cages to like these spacer spares, the blanks for the fans or something if you like. I think you get these white marks most when you take your print off the bed when it's still hot. I think when you let it cool down it doesn't show as much. I mean, the difference between heating it and not heating it is quite big. It's worth de-stressing the material, at least I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Shall I fit these to the rest of these before we finish today? So, what does this look like? Got to replicate that. VHB tape. So this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. We do have Lazy Susan now. I feel like Lazy Susan's done more work than me this stream. I mean, I think it's unlikely I'll have anything for tomorrow, so at this point probably won't be a live stream tomorrow, unfortunately. And then won't be Monday night, won't be Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday of Voron, won't be Friday, so maybe next Sunday will be the next one at this point. Right. Where's the tweezers gone? I don't really want to be starting VCore while, yeah, everything's still work in progress. It's just going to be even more of a nightmare. I mean, maybe I'll think about it. I was considering doing the Voron, the rat rig, rather, on Twitch, because I haven't tried that and I wanted to give it a go. How would you people feel about me trying streams on Twitch? Format would be basically the same, it would just be a different website, basically. There we go. There we go. We have two sides, one wit fans and one wit no fans. Huh. Twitch is, like, there is gaming on Twitch, and it is, I know, predominantly gaming, but they do have, like, maker and crafting category. They've got a 3D printing section now, so we'll see. I would quite like to give it a try. Right. So that's going to be it for me today. I don't think we've really made much progress at all. I've tried all the skirts, so we've got that sort of ready, but obviously they're not actually on the printer. We put these little mounts on, and we've had a whole load of epic fails, really. Pretty dismal progress. I was hoping to have all the all the wiring in, but those drag energy chains, whatever you like to call them, they are not going to be suitable without heavy modification, which would make them structurally useless, I think. So I need to get some new ones, and so I don't think we're going to be doing anything else until those get delivered. I'm going to be at TCT next week, and you may already know there's some quite exciting stuff going to be happening there. So 100% you should stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss that TCT stuff. You really don't. It's going to be pretty cool. So, in the meantime, you go watch a video I did on this because that's a pretty cool video, I think. Especially if you're going to be building a Voron or looking to build a Voron or just using heat inserts in your 3D printing. I think it's a really good tool, especially if you already have like quite a few of the bits, then it's pretty cheap to do. If you don't, it's a bit more expensive and maybe not worth it, especially if you're only doing a few. But if you're doing a lot, especially, I think enough to build a Voron, then it's probably worth having. So yes, that's going to be it from me today. Hopefully this has been helpful for those of you following along. Thank you, of course, to the sponsors, Filofarm and Big Tree Tech, and I will see you in the next one. So goodbye, good evening, or even good morning, although that's a kind of morning hello. Anyway,